And now look who it is. He's finally back in Charlotte, kinda, at least via Zoom. Ron Rivera, now the head coach of the Washington football team, formerly of the Panthers. Ron, I think it's fair to say you're missing out on CSL. Do you miss me and Josh the most out of everybody here?
Yeah, you know what? I do. I told you guys, I really appreciated the shows that you guys did. I always thought there was some good value and good entertainment out of it.
First of all, let's touch on the health. How is everything? How are you feeling? Because I know everybody here, I mean, seriously, in our newsroom and around the city, we followed every step, celebrated every victory with you. We felt like we were on the journey with you. How are you feeling?
Feeling pretty good, Will. Thank you for asking. Things have gone well. I'm in the recovery phase right now. A lot of positive checkups I've had. I had a positive checkup with my PET scan and then with my radiologist and oncologist. And then the other day I had another positive checkup. And when I say positive, I mean good.
Was there a moment on the field where you just had a different perspective on something, whereas, 8 years ago you would have lost your mind or you would have looked at it differently?
Yeah, you know what it did though? I think it got me to the point where when I lose my mind or I'm getting ready to, I think I become a little bit more detailed in my explanation to the player. Because it made me realize just how much more I can expect from the guys going through what I did now. I just know that these guys can be so much better. I think that's what it's done, is it's helped me to just be even that more detailed in my explanation, that more detailed in the help that I give a guy and say, hey, look, you know what? I know you can do it. Believe me, I know you can get it done.
Great. So Ron Rivera is now a tougher coach after surviving cancer. I'm sure the players love that. Let's now talk about Thomas Davis, Greg Olsen. These two going out together in a dual ceremony of retirement. How cool is that?
That's about as cool as it gets, doing it. And I'm glad they both have the opportunity to come back home, back to the Carolinas, back to the Panthers, and say their goodbyes to the NFL. Both two tremendous class acts. They really are. And they're two guys that aren't done making an impact in this world. I really do believe that. I believe these are the type of young men that are going to continue to grow and develop as leaders.
Give me a Thomas Davis story that you're never going to forget.
I'll never forget the day he came in after his third surgery, after one of his checkups after surgery. And we went upstairs to Mr. Richardson's office. And Mr. Richardson said Thomas wanted to talk with me. And I looked at Thomas, and Thomas said, Coach, I want to come back and take one more shot. And Mr. Richardson asked me, well, what do you think? And I said, well, if he comes back healthy, he does things I can't coach. I mean, he's a tremendous football player. And that was the beginning of I think, one of the greatest stretches of football played by a linebacker in my memory.
Now give me a Greg Olsen story you'll never forget.
I will never forget. It was our second year in the in Carolina, and we played the Chargers in San Diego when they were still there. And it was the game that Stephanie actually flew out there and got to fly back with the team. So we were sitting in our seats up front, and you could hear one voice at the back of the airplane. And remember, we played on the West Coast time at 1 o'clock, which was actually 4. So we were flying home at about 8:30, 9 o'clock Carolina time. And so the players were tired, but there was one voice you heard from takeoff to landing, and it got louder and louder as the flight went, because as the players were falling asleep, Greg was trying to find somebody else to talk to. And that was the guys that didn't play. I'm talking about our support staff. I'm talking about our doctors, talking about our coaches. So Greg kept moving forward towards us, and it just kept getting louder and louder. And Stephanie kept saying, is he coming our way? I said, yeah, pretend we're asleep. So that's my Greg Olsen story.
I know you covet the Hall of Fame like no other. Is Greg Olsen a Hall of Famer in your mind?
Yes, I think both those guys are. If you think about what Greg did, the numbers that he put up, I believe he was the first tight end to go 1,000 yards back to back to back. Yep. I think it was something like that. That's pretty impressive. And if you consider the fact that, he was one of our primary targets, and to do that then, yes, I really do. I think, for that alone, he should get in.